Hello and welcome to another Schematics Rimworld Basics. This time we will be covering your first night in Rimworld. We have already crash landed. If you wish to see the pawn selection process, please see the previous video where I go over everything that you need to do in order to select the correct pawns for the temperate biome, as well as some tips and tricks and some things you should probably know going forward. With that aside, let's get started. Immediately here on the right, you will notice that there are 3 notifications. Colonists need beds, Hunter lacks ranged weapon, and need recreation variety. Hunter lacks ranged weapon we will deal with in a moment when we equip weapons. Someone is assigned the skill of hunting without having a ranged weapon equipped. We can deal with this by simply equipping a ranged weapon. And need recreation variety. Pawns require recreation, which is time to relax and chill with their friends or enemies. This can be provided with either a table for social interaction or toys for fun interaction. If we pan over to the Pawn's Needs tab, we'll real quickly see Mood. This is your overall mood, which is a combination of all of the little bars to the left. Food, Rest, Recreation, Beauty, Comfort, and Outdoors. In our case, we have no undergrounder pawns, so we're okay. They like being outdoors. These are what we need to focus on to manage Rimworld. We have to keep all of these stats as high as possible to be able to keep them from getting upset with each other. So for that, we need to get shelter and food. But before we can do any of that, we have to decide who gets what weapon. We start with 3 weapons. I usually give the knife to the person with the lowest combat in general, the revolver to the person with the lowest shooting, and the rifle to the person with the best shooting, who is going to become our hunter. You will notice that the hunter lacks ranged weapon debuff has vanished from the right side. Now let's have a look at our starting items. We have packaged survival meals. These will not deteriorate unless they are left outdoors. Medicine, which does deteriorate outdoors. We need to get that into an indoor stockpile stat. Same with the components, which are very important for building structures such as power. A bunch of wood, which will be scattered around. A bunch of steel, which will be scattered around the map as well. And medicine, very important. Always have a lot of that, as well as some extra armor. And our dog, named King. He's a good boy. Really quick, if we select the dog, we'll notice that they have training. Various animals have various training that they are capable of doing. They also have their own sets of needs, just like your pawns. Please take good care of them. They can be very useful in specific situations. Certain types of animals can eat a lot of food early on. Be aware of this. This dog, however, is going to be trained. We will take good care of him. So now that we have had a brief overview of what's going on and equipped our weapons, it's time to unforbid everything. By default, everything will have a little cross on them. This makes them forbidden. Pawns will ignore them and not use the items that are forbidden. If we would like to unforbid them, simply go into the Orders tab and unforbid them using the Unforbid tool. There is also a Forbid tool. This can be used for dangerous drugs, dangerous weapons, or things you would just like your pawns to leave alone and not use up. So now that we have looked at our items, let's get things started food production wise. Let's have a look at the ground types around our pawns in the starting area. So initially you'll notice it's a lot of brown dirt. In the bottom left, it will tell you the type of soil that you're looking at as well as its fertilization percentage. It'll also tell you the walk speed. This is a steam geyser. This is used for late game tech. You kind of want to be close to one of these. As well as a couple of various buildings that come pre-built. Some of them have dangerous things in them. I have some suspicions about this completely enclosed dark building here. Let's go have a real quick look at it. I am going to recruit this pawn by pressing the R key or clicking the recruit button at the bottom. This gives me direct control. Turns out my suspicions were correct. We do not want to go into this building early game. This is used for later game tech, and we'll worry about that later. Now, if you quickly have a glance at the work menu, we're currently set to automatic priorities. This is fine when getting started with Rimworld. You can get to manual priorities by clicking the manual priorities. We're just going to quickly make sure that we have people set to construction, hauling, and growing. Growing is for plants, construction is for building our house, and growing is for growing farms. Every single other skill needs specific priorities here. However, as long as everything's getting done, you don't need to worry too much about manual priorities. That's more for once things start to fall apart a bit and you want things to be rebalanced. So now let's begin the process of farming. For this, we are going to grow potatoes. Potatoes do not grow the fastest, however they do provide a large amount of food. We're going to build a decent-sized square over top of the rich soil, which grows 1.5 times faster than normal soil. Of course, you could also grow this on regular soil, and if you wanted food even quicker, you could grow rice. Rice produces the fastest. However, we have animals we can hunt in the area, so we don't have to worry too much about having food right away. We just need food to survive the winter. It seems that Frenchie is suffering from some cryosleep sickness, and will be sick for the next couple of hours. We'll get some work done slower, and we'll vomit everywhere, constantly. Hopefully it ends soon. We don't want to have to clean too much of this up. A moment ago, I also built a stockpile next to where we're growing our food. Frenchie is not equipped to grow and plant potatoes. So, Frenchie, our vomiting friend here, will deliver all of our gear that landed with us in the space pods over to the stockpile. It's a very important job because it'll eventually become indoors and enclosed. This will keep the items from deteriorating. Fragile items such as food, which can rot, will eventually be put into a fridge where it will maintain a frozen state and will never go bad, unless it catches fire. As you can see now, most of our potatoes are finished being planting and the majority of the items have been transferred over. Granted, we still have some left, however, that stuff will get done in due time. The next thing we would like to focus on is getting some basic shelter, as the day is beginning to come to an end. So what we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of these lovely little pre-built buildings here. We will construct more optimal custom buildings later out of some wood and bricks that we build. However, it is a good idea to just start off by getting a roof over our heads. Once the rooms have been enclosed with walls and a door, our pawns will automatically assign roof zones and build roofs. Then from there, we can select bed sleeping spots. We could construct full beds for today, but I think it's probably better the first night we just use sleeping spots. Pawns will automatically go and sleep in a sleeping spot that is unowned, so you do not need to assign them. However, if you would like, you can specifically assign sleeping spots to an individual pawn using the assign tool. Just simply select the sleeping spot and then select the assign tool and which pawn you would like to sleep there. Also, if for whatever reason you want two colonists to share a bed or a sleeping spot, you can build double beds or sleeping spots. Maybe they're lovers, maybe they're married, maybe they're having an affair. Now that all of our crops have been planted, our stockpile has been filled, and we have a roof over our heads, this is generally a pretty good spot to be in for your first night on the Rimworld. With everything covered and everything stated, I will be doing another episode on Rimworld Basics covering your second day on Rimworld and how to get some power and cooking services up and running and things you should probably prioritize on your second day. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave a comment down below the video and remember to leave the video a like. If you enjoyed this video, I recommend that you take the time to have a look at our other content. We produce a wide variety of talk show style videos covering games that we are interested in. If you really like this video, please look down below the video and have a look at our Ko-fi. Ko-fi is a platform where you can buy the editor of this video a coffee so that we can continue to produce content. And with all of that said, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and have a good night.